and welcome back to more The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. So we are continuing our third level 3 dungeon we set up where we can't use our sword. Conceptually, I think this is really fun. In practice, it's like, okay, quickly, what do I do because I have no sword? It kind of makes me think about programming. Obviously this is beyond the scope of what you can actually do in a dungeon maker, but it makes me really think about, like, what you need to do to set up a swordless run. Like, you'd have to set things up in very specific ways that don't need the sword. You know, this boss I picked because it seemed like it would be a good choice because you only use bombs. I'm using the Rock's Feather just to dodge, but you don't need the Rock's Feather. But yeah, this doesn't require the sword at all, so I thought this would be a great choice. Most bosses are most easily defeated with swords. Ow. Just getting pelted over here by jars. Should take 2 more hits? I think it's 2 more. Or 1. I mean, I'm fine with that. Sheathed sword, clear. Nice. So we got yet another chamber stone, and another effects panel, plus hearts. Kind of interesting that that's for that dungeon, not the other one. I also wish they let you do, like, swordless, like, for your own challenges. I'm not sure if they do, I don't think they do. I admit that was a really weird way to say that entire, sentence. So this is a weird looking dungeon. I'm gonna pick this one. The boss, again, gone Moldorm for the sake of convenience. We have to use a staircase because it's blocked off otherwise. This is easy. We'll just use that one. Then put a matching staircase over here. Okay, so these two loop down. This is timed. You got a 5-minute timer. So, you have to factor that in as well. Like, rooms you can get through quickly, which I find, like, kind of a neat twist. This is bombable, that's fine. And again, this treasure, other than that treasure in the top, I'm going to avoid putting treasures in whenever possible, for the sake of minimizing the amount of travel I have to do through these rooms, except I think I have to do this. Yeah, I think it forces me to. No, it doesn't, I can do this. But that's the only one like that, sadly, so... uh-oh. I'm gonna do this. So that loops here, we have to go through this room, and... Okay, let's see if I can make this work. This is really weird, but I want to see if I can get this to work out. That, I think, should be a short room, and I want to say this is a short room. So yeah, that's one staircase is just gonna be kind of useless again. I feel bad for that lone staircase. I think I'm gonna try to find a connecting path for it, even though I actually don't have to, apparently. Let's go with this. Okay, so it still connects properly, cool. Nice. Alright. So we're on a strict time limit. We're back to having a sword though, so that's a good feeling. Also, this room is very trivial now that we have the sword. I forgot there was an enemy still left over. But yeah, I really like this type of challenge, and I wish, you know what would actually be cool is if an actual Zelda game had timers. Like a bonus, like, time trial mode. Yeah, this can work. Just gotta make that jump. Yeah, like a bonus time trial mode. This was a terrible room to pick, actually. A bonus time I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna get rid of this room. This was a mistake. I think even fighting a boss would be faster. Okay, now let's try this again. As I was saying, I think it would be really fascinating having a full game where you actually had the choice to do timed challenges. I know, like, once the Ocarina of Time had a boss rush mode, which I actually don't think I've ever done. 3D, I should specify if it didn't already. But I wish a real, like, an actual dungeon would do this, like, give you, like... Wait, maybe this room is fixed. Yeah, I think I replaced that room, so I think this one might just be forced on you, which is typical. To make it a challenge, give you one of the more tedious rooms to do. Going a little bit into concentration mode. There we go. But yeah, having like, oh, do this really stupidly hard temple in like 50 minutes. I think that would actually be a neat twist. Albeit, very, very stressful. I mean, Majora kinda does that. You know, in Majora's Mask, obviously, you have a ton of time limits, but, you know, not anything that strict. But yeah, having a thing being like, oh, clear a temple in half an hour. I think that would be a really neat way to incentivize learning dungeon routes, and, just kind of a fun little bonus, little thing to add replay value. I don't think they'll actually ever do that, mind you, but I can hope. It's gonna knock me into the pit, probably. I don't think I can... Actually, maybe I do have enough room to jump. I do. Again, I completely broke this dungeon. We don't need to go to that left side at all. Did I put, like, rupees down here? No, just a cave. So now back this way. We could warp. I'm gonna opt not to because we have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. By the way, screen transitions pause the timer, so that's nifty, I guess. I don't feel like it's even necessary. This is really short. Like, short as is. So now that this is done, we can just easily pass by. This, by default, has to be the, dungeon, or the nightmare key. And away we go. Through this slightly, tricky room. Ow. Boomerang. And with that, we are clear to go through the, boss door. We have 3 minutes to defeat Moldorm. How will we ever manage? Quite easily. That's the answer. We barely fought anyone else other than, Moldorm. Alright, ticking clock, clear. What a show, there are times I'd swear you had one foot in the grave. A thrill like that deserves something from my collection in exchange. You got a chamber, slot it into the dungeon to see what's inside. You got a heart container, your maximum number of hearts increased, and your health has been refilled too. You got the wall plus Wall Masters effect. Apply it to a chamber to make Wall Masters reach for you. It's great to watch you work, but I've been wondering if it could be better, so I threw together some challenges that are tougher than anything I've given you so far. Try 'em, won't you? Just what I need in my life. Voluntary Wall Masters. Alright, so we're done with the mandatory stuff. This is interesting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 special challenges. This looks disgusting. I'm gonna be completely honest. This looks straight up awful. I remember this one being a headache to set up. I'm gonna say right now, other than the 6 chamber stones that were missing, the only thing left to do in this game, other than hero mode, is these final 12 challenges. The sword's not done until it's all filled in. Start at the bottom left, then work your way up and to the right. Master arranging it, and you can have something. It's a shield because you only get 5 hearts for the adventure part, so you gotta defend yourself, see? There's a lot of space you need to fill here too. Makes for a long, tough dungeon, but hey, when it's done, you get to write your name on it. You like this one? Well, don't speak too soon, you don't get to use your sword here, but you've got all that other junk, right? Yeah, you'll be fine. Your ocarina gave me the idea for this one. Think of the arranging like writing a song. The more you put in, the prettier it is. Of course, a real ocarina packed with stuff doesn't play. There's a bunch of those beefy Hinoxes around here. It gets worse, too. You've only got 3 minutes to finish the adventure. Don't know how to handle Hinoxes? Then keep your eye on your hearts. When it comes to arranging chambers, you get the idea now. Stairs, treasure, chests, the whole routine. Couple things about this one, though. 1, you only get 5 minutes for the adventure. 2, there's a monster who makes that time limit tougher than you think. This is one where you can't use that sword. Now that's gonna make some spots tough, or even impossible. When that happens, you're gonna need a helpful hand. Seems easy, right? You look at it and say, I got this figured out, but do you have enough chambers shaped the right way to do it like that? Not so easy now, huh? It's stairs top to bottom here. By the time you fill up the shape with stairs, you won't know whether you're coming or going. Myself, I like downstairs more than up. Easier on the knees. How about all this chest in there? Tempting, huh? Don't drool over the treasure too much, or you might forget to place an entrance in Nightmare's lair. You're gonna need most of your chambers for this big guy. Adventuring through it could take a while too. Wish I could put my finger on where I've seen that design before. The last challenge is another fill-in job. Why this shape? I just like it, that's all. Use it to make a dungeon I like too. This one's short. Let's try this one. In short, these don't give you new chambers. They're pretty useless, actually. The big, gimmick, I guess you could say, of these is, they actually, give you gold rupees. Every time you clear one, you do get gold rupees for it. It's cool and all, but that doesn't take away the fact that, you have to put in a lot of work for this, to be blunt. This one is short, so we're gonna breeze through this really fast, just to show it off, like what happens. But I think we're actually gonna call the adventure here, after we do this dungeon. The reason is, everything else past this point is either grinding out these challenges, which are, again, just me placing down random spaces to make my life as easy as possible so it's not terribly exciting dungeons. I just mainly wanted to show the stuff that actually unlocks, you know, new dungeon chambers and new pieces of heart pieces, that's the same thing, I meant heart containers. You know, secret seashells. Maybe the blue Hinoxes are weaker, because I feel like that went down so much faster. I feel like that's opposite of a lot of Zelda games, with the blue variant being weaker. What was I saying? But yeah, I think we're gonna kinda call it here, after this dungeon, just because it's just doing these challenges, it's farming for rupees, paying out for a bunch of chamber stones. You know where the last 6 are. And quite frankly, I'm not the best at these last challenges. They would take an insanely long time for me to put together because I struggle with this mode a lot. Making things that work. The stair dungeon would take so long to try to get through. So for the sake of this series, frankly being succinct and not, you know, trudging on with it too much longer, I think it would be for the best if we did call it here. And of course, because we have a timed dungeon, we get one of the longest boss fights in the game. We still have 2 minutes to go, we're fine. This shouldn't take too long. So yeah. Sadly though, based on the design of this fight, there's not much we can really do to speed it up. Also, text boxes do not take time, that's really generous of the game to do that. But yeah, something like this is a cool concept, but it gets really grindy at a certain point. That's why I'm kind of mixed on a lot of the new content in this game. This doesn't really add a whole lot to the base game, it just kind of drags out your playtime a little bit. We're actually cutting it a little closer than I would like. They assume, obviously, you have all the upgrades, so with the upgraded sword, we should be able to do this no problem. It'll probably take like 2 hits or something with double damage. So that's like 2 hits there, actually, so probably 2 more. Yeah, 4 hits. Yeah, it's 8 hits, so it'd be 4. I screwed that up, I got hit and got stun locked. There we go. By the way, there's also not anything like a new ending for getting 100%. But yeah, there's the gold rupee for our troubles. And this is a great way to unlock the final challenges, or the final chamber stones from the shop. But yeah, other than that, there isn't much more to this. It would just be, forcing myself through the remaining challenges, so to end this on a generally positive note, I think it would be for the best to call it here. With that, that brings our adventure to a close. For real this time, thank you for watching this playthrough. I had a great time going through it, and I hope everyone did too. But yes, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for a new adventure.